I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever.
Sydney Sweeney just made denim go viral for all the wrong reasons. Her new American Eagle campaign triggered a wave of backlash, with critics accusing the brand of pushing eugenics-coded messaging. Why? Because Sydney, a blue-eyed blonde, purrs into the camera about having great jeans, and viewers say it's not just about denim. Some are comparing the ad to Nazi-era propaganda. Others say it's nothing more than a cheesy wordplay. But here's the twist. While the internet fumed, American Eagle stock surged 10%, adding $200 million in value. So who really won here? Stick around, because in the final minute, we'll reveal the exact professor who linked the ad to white supremacist ideology and how their quote changed everything. The ad is simple. Sydney Sweeney whispers in a soft voice, "My genes are blue. My body's composition is determined by my genes. Eyes up here." A cheeky pun, right? Not so fast. Critics immediately slammed the spot for suggesting Sydney's beauty, her good genes, is what makes her worthy of attention. And when your lead actress is a white, blonde, blue-eyed woman, the implications get dicey. On TikTok, one viral video labeled it a eugenicist dog whistle. Other posts drew parallels to the infamous 1980 Brooke Shields Calvin Klein ad, where a 15-year-old model said nothing comes between her and her genes. That ad too blurred the line between fashion and fetishization. But here's where this one goes off the rails. Viewers accused American Eagle of glamorizing white genetic superiority. Some even called it 1930s Germany vibes. So was this just a poorly timed pun or something more calculated? Next, we'll dive into who's fueling this outrage and why. The outrage started on TikTok, where hundreds of creators dissected the ad frame by frame. One video with over 300,000 views said, "They knew exactly what they were doing. A blonde, blue-eyed woman talking about good genes is never a coincidence." Another stitched the ad with World War II-era propaganda posters, calling the messaging subtle but sinister. And the comments? People weren't holding back. Some called it soft-core Aryan propaganda. Others said it was a masterclass in tone-deaf marketing. Meanwhile, others weren't offended, but confused. "What was that voice?" one commenter asked, referring to Sydney's odd, old-fashioned tone. Was she acting, mocking, seducing? No one seemed sure, but everyone had an opinion. And when Doja Cat joined the mockery online, everything exploded. But was she mocking Sydney or the script? Let's get into that next. Doja Cat didn't directly slam Sydney, but she did parody the ad's narration on TikTok. Using the same voice, she mimicked the line, "Genes are passed down from parents to offspring," exaggerating every syllable. Then came Gabby Windey, former Bachelorette star, who roasted the ad by pointing out the obvious. "She's not even filling out the genes." She laughed, "Don't say the genes make your butt look amazing. If the genes aren't doing anything," the internet ate it up. Memes flooded Twitter. Parody videos racked up millions of views. One meme read, "Nothing comes between me and my eugenics-coded denim." But here's the kicker. Every post, parody, and hate tweet boosted American Eagle's reach. Coming up, we reveal how much money they made from the outrage alone. While Twitter was in flames, American Eagle's investors were celebrating. The company's stock jumped 10% after the ad's release, adding nearly $200 million to its market value. That's not speculation, that's Wall Street. A brand that had been struggling post-pandemic suddenly found itself back in headlines, and more importantly, back in people's carts. Was it because of Sydney? The wordplay? The backlash? Sydney's hot right now? She's the it girl. People buy what celebrities wear. The outrage? Just bonus fuel. So who's really mad and who's pretending? Next up, we look at the academics who say this isn't just about genes. It's about history. Here's where things get serious. Professor Jason Landis of Michael Graves College published a scathing critique, saying the campaign wasn't just tone-deaf, it was historically dangerous. He argued the phrase, "good genes," once sat at the center of American eugenics propaganda, used to justify the forced sterilization of marginalized groups in the early 20th century. To Landis, American Eagle wasn't just making a pun, they were resurrecting a slogan tied to genetic supremacy. Marketing like this, he warned, doesn't happen in a vacuum. When you center a blonde, blue-eyed woman and talk about inherited greatness, it echoes dark ideas. That quote sent shockwaves through the discussion, and some online users agreed, accusing the brand of lacking diversity in the creative room. One viral comment read, "This is what happens when there are 0 people of color in the decision-making process." But the internet didn't just rage, it split. Let's look at the other side of the coin. Not everyone saw a conspiracy. Plenty of viewers, especially on Reddit and YouTube, rallied behind Sydney Sweeney. One viral comment read, "It's a jeans commercial, not a propaganda film. Calm down." Another put it bluntly, "If you think a pun about jeans is a racial dog whistle, maybe touch grass." She's stunning. That's what the ad was about. Beauty sells. Period. And yet some defenders weren't blind to the optics. One even suggested American Eagle should lean in next time, make the next campaign more inclusive, feature people of all backgrounds, and own the joke. Because whether you loved it or hated it, one thing was clear: everyone was talking about it. And that's exactly what PR teams dream of. Up next, a closer look at how marketing teams plan outrage on purpose. According to media strategist Molly McPherson, nothing about this campaign was accidental. Every shot, every pun, every voiceover, choreographed. Why? Because viral outrage sells. She explained that brands today often expect backlash. They design campaigns that spark debate because that's how you win attention in an oversaturated market. Think about it. What gets more clicks? "Sydney looks cute in jeans," or "Is this ad eugenics propaganda?" And now, even this video is part of the marketing loop. We're talking about it. You're watching it. The brand wins. McPherson said it best. There's always a puppeteer behind the curtain. Which raises the final question. If this was all calculated, where does that leave Sydney Sweeney? Let's find out. At 26, Sydney Sweeney is riding a career high. From Euphoria to Anyone But You, she's dominating both streaming and red carpets. And this American Eagle ad, whether love or hate, it cemented her place as a pop culture lightning rod. But backlash isn't new for her. She's previously come under fire for attending family events with allegedly conservative symbolism and has been called out for embracing the male gaze in her work. Still, none of that has slowed her down. So will this campaign hurt her image? Unlikely. As Andy Signor put it, anyone saying they'll never buy these jeans again, they weren't the target customer anyway. The outrage gave Sydney more visibility, more clout, and more endorsement power. But we promised you a final twist. Let's reveal the most explosive part of this scandal. The most viral quote came from Professor Jason Landis, who told the New York Times that the campaign's pun wasn't just careless. It was historically loaded with white supremacist ideology. He drew a direct line from good genes to early 1900s, American policies that sterilized poor, disabled, and non-white citizens in the name of genetic purity. Landis wrote, "When you hear good genes used in a national campaign featuring a white actress, you're not just hearing a pun, you're hearing an echo." That quote went viral. It's what turned the controversy from a niche Twitter debate into a headline-grabbing scandal. And it's what made American Eagle go silent. No comment since. So now that all the receipts are out, what do you think? Is this campaign a careless marketing fail or a deliberate strategy that used outrage to boost sales? Was Sydney Sweeney complicit, clueless, or just caught in the middle? And does good genes always have to mean something more? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your take. Smash that like button if you learned something new. And subscribe to stay tuned for the next celebrity scandal that breaks the internet. Until then, this was Celebrity Scandal Watch.